Hi, my name is Jen. I'm an occupational therapist. I work in a public school, specifically in a developmental learning classroom or a life skills classroom. And not only do I work with high school students, but also some of the postgraduate students who get occupational therapy. And I love using the I Can Work program. This is the second year I've been using the program, and I really, really enjoy it a lot. It's really helped me streamline the activities that I choose, and helped me look at how I can progress students from one level to the next, or one set of activities to the next, and just really helped me streamline my treatment sessions for pre-vocational skills. So I'm going to just focus a little bit today on some of the specific activities I use. One that we use every day is the Timecard, or the clocking in to OT. So you can see how I set up my station here. I have the visual of the Timecard and how it should be filled in. And then I kind of just adapted a little bit with a little visual of a calendar and a clock for a student who specifically needed that, so he can kind of match up the calendar date, which I write here, and soon we'll progress him to reading it off the calendar. And then I have the cue of the clock and the time, so we can fill it in. That student in particular is working on getting the information in the right spot on the card. Here's an example of a student who filled it in correctly today. So he's got the date, the time he came into OT, and then the time he clocked out. And then what students do once they take their card and fill it out, they just put it in the back of the bin, and then every now and then I'll go through them and check them to make sure that they're on par with that. This is just another way I adapted it for another student who's working on not only remembering to fill out his time card and take that initiative on his own, but also working on taking the initiative to say hello to me when he comes in. And then there's a follow-up activity after he signs in, kind of a warm-up written activity, just filling out some personal data, because we're trying him to get used to remembering some of those pieces. So I just took some of the pictures from the I Can Work program, some of the visuals, and added that in, and he does really well. I just hold up the visual and he will say hello to me, fill out his time card, and then progress on here. Before, so we had this laminated before and he would check it off, but now he can just look at it. He doesn't need to physically check it off. One of the other I Can Work systems that I use is the job completion sheet, and so I have a folder for each of my students in this file system. So, if this student comes along, James, he can, at the end of the session, pick out his job folder, and then we have him reflect on the job he did. So, for example, today we made muffins, and that's something we've been planning. You can see the last couple of weeks we've been planning that, and then he reflected on how he thought he did. So he thought he did a good job today, which he did. And when he was first practicing it, we just had the strip over here and we kind of practiced some different scenarios, but now he can just look at the sheet and he can independently circle how he felt that activity went. And this is really helpful for me, just with all my students looking back and seeing what activities they preferred, sort of how they're perceiving, how they did on the activity. And so it creates a good talking point for progress and things they need to work on going forward. So that's, again, part of our routine. I keep all of the things that I use pretty consistently in this binder I created, so I just printed off all of the applicable lessons that I tend to use. I think I have most of them in there, actually. We've gone through most of them, and that way I can just easily Xerox them as needed. We use the job application form quite a bit for practice. This is one of our favorite classroom activities, is the Professional of the Month award. We just awarded that last week to a student for January. And so what they do is we'll give them the certificate with their name on it to take home, and then we have a poster in the classroom where their name is on it for the month. We'll take a picture of them getting their certificate, and we put it in this classroom newsletter that the teacher does every month with the students. So that's a fun favorite. The kids always look forward to it, and they always ask, who's Professional of the Month? Have you decided? They get really excited about it. So again, this program, I Can Work, has been a real lifesaver for me. It's really helped me organize a lot of activities that I need to do with students for pre-vocational skills, and it's given me a good reference point of where to start and where to take the activities to. So definitely check it out. It's a great curriculum, and I highly recommend it. Thanks.